Hello and welcome to Kala Kabab or Kisse Presents Writers Unplugged Season 2 Chapter English. So मैं हूँ आज का host Charles and today we are going to go live with Team Slayers and Team Titans because last day yesterday, day one, on day one of round four, we met two teams, two tribes, which was Skyhawks and Hustlers. And today we are going to meet Slayers and Titans. Both of them are super strong team. Last time when we met them on round number three, they were they were on at par with each other on the competition part. This time they are competing with each other, but in a intra tribe manner. So first up, we will have Titans today, and then we'll have Slayers and three participants. Top participants. So I'm waiting how they are going to perform. But before we see how they are going to perform, let's go and meet our judges. So may I request our host to put judges on the screen, please? Here are my three favorite people. Hello, judges. How are you? First up, Nishant. How are you, Nishant?
कल मैं पहली बार आया. So it was the first time I saw everyone and I loved the whole experience. तो आज तो मैं काफ़ी excited हूँ. What sort of performances are gonna come? So looking forward to that.
Definitely, Nishant. I'm damn sure after round number three, even I'm eager to listen Titans and Slayers because last time they were awesome. What about you, Meenal? How are you today, and what are your expectations today?
I am good, and I am also looking forward for Titans and Slayers. Like in the round before, they performed really well. So yeah, I'm looking forward that they'll do the same this time as well.
All right, Bhavish, day two of round number four. Our favorite teams, Slayers and Titans, are performing. What are your expectations today?
Previously they performed very well. I am expecting same that previously they performed. Let's
So a
hope
lot of
how
pressure
they,
already from all four of us. There's a lot of pressure to all both
yeah.
these teams, Slayers and Titans. Let's go and meet Titans mentors and let's find out what they were up to. So thank you, judges. We'll see you again in a while. Okay, so we have Garima and Shreya who are mentors for Team Titans, but we only have Garima today with us. Hello, Garima.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
Hi,
How
hi Charles. I'm all good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, Garima. Last time your team performed excellently well, and there's a lot of pressure this time also. What do you think is going to happen today?
It was a lot of pressure, and I have to say it was really tough deciding on the poems because when I told them to share some of their best works, they gave me such amazing works that it was actually tough for me to get out and choose the top three. I wanted all of them to be there. So it was indeed tough, and I hope that we all meet their expectations of the judges and the jury. So hoping for the best and girl power.
For
So
sure,
let's
for
see.
sure. Yeah, three girls in your team. Was there any
Yes.
challenge or any hardship that you faced throughout?
I think Team Tribe Titan is the best I could get, and I really did not have to work much with them. They are natural at whatever they do, and when I asked them to submit their poems, they were prompt enough to send me, and then it was all on my shoulders to decide which one. So that was a pretty tough decision for me. So but I'm really looking forward to everyone's performance today. So yes,
All right, that's perfect, Garima. Thank you so much for joining us. Garima and Shreya, both of you are mentors for Tribe Titan. Thank you so much, Garima. We'll
yes,
have a chit chat again
yes.
after
Thank
the
you.
competition. Thank you so much, Garima.
Yes, thank you so much.
So before I start with competition and call my judges on the screen, I would like to tell you what the competition is going to be about. Last day, you saw that it was a freestyle poetry competition. It's like okay, I was not on the screen. Okay, so similarly today also it is a freestyle poetry round where it's an intra competition round. All right, now may I request that the judges come on screen, please. Yeah, seriously. I mean, I'm speaking and these judges keep on popping on the screen. I mean, what do you want? Don't you want me to take a limelight for a little time? I mean, come on, guys. All right, perfect. So I am going to take the limelight as of now because I've already told our viewers what the competition is. They already know they were there yesterday on the day one of round number four. They're with us on round number four's day two. Today we have Team Titans going first, and our first participant for today is More Than Diamond, More Than Gold Girl, which is Shilling. And Shilling is going against Suno Aisha. So Aisha and Shilling, can I have both of them on the screen, please?
Hello, good evening to everyone.
Hello, Shilling. Hello, Aisha. How are you?
Fine.
I'm good, thank you. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Two most strong participants going head to head against each other. Is there any nervousness that you're going through?
A lot.
A
Yeah, I
lot.
can say
So
that.
Aisha is saying a lot because last time you were shining more than diamond, more than gold. Now I have renamed you like that. You are a girl more than diamond, more than gold, wali girl. So are you going to prove that again today, or we have to see if that is going to happen or not?
I want to keep it up, so I
All
will.
right. So let's go with Shilin. You are going first, and Aisha, you are going after. All right. So
Okay.
go for it, Shilin.
Okay. Good evening, judges. Um, the poem that I'm going to present now is titled "And Soon." This is a title for my poem, and I wrote this poem during the lockdown time, and wondering what will it be or how will it be when we will be all back into our lives. So it's about that, and like we know that when we'll be back into our lives, so the we are not sure that about what all plans that we had made earlier or during the lockdown time, that we'll do this and we'll do that, so that won't happen. So about that it is. So I'm going to begin with it. And soon we will be back on wheels through our journey of life. And soon we will all start missing these days of togetherness. And soon we will all be too busy to keep up the plans that we might have made these days. And soon we will all forget to thank the one above who let us pass through these days safe and sound. And soon again we will upset him with our distressing deeds. So now I pray, my Lord, make my heart yours and only yours. May I never forget your never ending, constant, and unconditional love. May I always live to fulfill your purpose through my life as a thanksgiving. Thank you.
Okay, before I give any comments, Shilling, where did you wrote this poem? In the church, in the catechism class?
No.
Where did this inspiration came from?
I don't know. Maybe I'm too much into it. So
Perfect. So I'm going to reserve all the comments for you. So first up, we are going for Aisha, so that we listen what she have prepared, and then we'll go for reviews altogether. All right, Aisha,
thank you.
you can
Okay.
go
Hi
forward.
everyone.
Yeah.
Hope all of you are fine. So today, first I'm going to perform my poem called Vintage Shoes. It's based on colors and what these colors mean to me and how they are vintage for me. So it's about different colors. There are a lot more myths. So hope all of you will enjoy it. Vintage shoes. The vastity of who's around us, each who's reflecting their cherished mass. The vintage effect on our soul, the innumerable vibrant energy for the body. Hues of blue to dream us, to reach the untouched sky, and to dive into deep waters. Hues of green to calm us, to build forest around us. Hues of brown
to energize us, to go on adventures to undiscovered lands, who's of red to love us, to realize self love is more important, who's of yellow to make us shine, to shine like a diamond on earth, who's of violet to help us fly, to spread wings of paracosm, who's of white to help us to learn about vibrant cultures, who's of black to heal us, to heal our broken, vacant soul, variety who's in our Eugene to express and help us go live vivid colors of nature all around us. Thank you.
Very nice, Aisha. I mean, you are making me revisit all the colors back again. So I'm like, okay, I remember those colors. So very well done, Aisha. Very well done, Shilling. It was a wonderful, wonderful round, and you
Thank you.
both did so well. Let's go to Bhavesh and let's find out your combined review. Bhavesh, what about Shilling and Aisha?
First of all, Aisha, the colors, every colors you had narrated perfectly. I mean, colors की बात ही नहीं रह रही है. Colors को आपने इतनी बखूबी से and you have represented every colors so beautifully that somewhere I like which color I want to choose, and especially the black one, my most favorite color. I love blacky color. So that was perfect. I mean, I really appreciate your work. In between,
Thanks
I
a
give
lot.
the yes. So I give that one thing. And Charlene, you are also too good. I mean, आपने जो भी चर्च के बारे में चर्च के अंदर बैठ के लिखा था ये क्या सॉरी मैं I'll commenting in Hindi because so it should be make it more easier to understand. So actually I visit every Sunday church. Actually my second name is Charles Park sorry Paul Walker. My name is actually not Paul Walker. My name is Paul Parker. I'm also a Christian. So I believe in Christianity. I feel like I'm sitting in the church actually. So that's one thing I want to you mesmerize the memories of my church time when I was visiting the church. I always every Sunday I go to that, and my father said that you are a very good child. You have some kind of potential to improve you in your life. So you remind me the church memories. So absolutely wonderful.
So that was comment from Bhavesh about Aisha and Shilin. Aisha, literally, he said it very nicely because your recitation was so nice that whenever you are taking the colors, it just popped. So it was really nice. What about you, Nishant? What are
Thank you.
your expert comments on both of them?
First thing, I'm very happy this particular session started this way, because yesterday I was not happy with the structure of the poetry, and people were also confused about free verse and उसमें structure नहीं होता. Anyway, but Shilling, your poetry reminded me of course, it, too far away from that, but it reminded me of Rabindranath Tagore's poetry, how he talks about soul and everything. And just as you said to Charles, that it comes from within. Maybe I'm too much into it, so maybe you are not too much into it, but it's good that it came from that place. And I really loved that it was short yet impactful. Of course I wanted if it could be longer, but that just because I loved it. So it was just like your favorite mithai that you want to eat again and again. Now coming to Aisha, so amazing use of colors and to paint a picture. And also there was rhythm in your poetry, so maybe that was something done either consciously or on the subconscious level. But even without rhyming, you were able to get that rhythm, that beat to the poetry, with your recitation, with your words. And I'm really happy. Like, I this just made up my mind. I'm looking forward to more poems. Thank you.
So perfect and experienced comments for both of you, and I think it was perfect. So now let's go to our sweetest judge, Meenal, to get the perfect comments again from Meenal. Okay, over to you, Meenal.
So personally, I had very high expectations from you both because Shilling, as everyone knows, you performed excellent in the previous task. So starting with you, Shilling, I thought that you have very well uh, showed us the great perspective of lockdown and the pandemic. Like everyone talks about very negative signs of the pandemic, and it is the fact that pandemic has actually reunited us, all of us. So I'm glad that you put that point first. But like everyone said, I thought that it was more of a prayer than a poem. So that was one thing I felt. But overall, it was very good. But also, I would like to mention that you can also elongate your poem. I thought it was like abrupt. I thought the previous part and the ending was missing. So you can always extend it, and we are happy to hear it again also. So good job. I liked it.
Next Sunday,
Coming to
Next Sunday,
yeah,
Shilling will write the next paragraph of that poem.
yeah. Okay, so Aisha, your poem was really good. I really like the connotation you used for black. Like black is always used for negative side, but you actually used it like to heal us. So I really like that, and you gave us all a different perspective to look at the colors, which was really good.
So again, a perfect. Yeah, there are three perfect comments for both of you. And again, this is going to be a tough competition like last time because you guys were perfect then, you guys were perfect today. So let's find out what is going to happen. Shilin, we'll wait for your second poem for today. But Aisha, you are up for next round. So Aisha, be on screen. Shilin, thank you. We'll call you again on the round number 3 for your next battle. To give competition to Aisha, we have a very sweet voiced person, which is Jasreen Kaur. So, Jasreen, can I have you on the screen, please?
Hey, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Julie.
है लड़की की आवाज में मिठास देख रहे हो आप. So, Aisha, you are against Jasreen for battle number 2. Aisha, we have seen how wonderfully you have written your first poem. Now, let's see how you're going for the second one, but I'm going to give you a little rest. So, we are going to start with you, Jasreen. Jasreen, your voice is so sweet. Do you think it is going to help you with the recitation of what you have written?
I'll try my best. The rest is your perception.
Perfect answer. So, okay, Jasreen, we are going to start with you and then we'll move to Aisha. Over to you, Jasreen.
All right, thank you. First of all, greetings to everybody. Uh, the topic that I have chosen today is quite a sensitive one. It is written on facts. It talks about something that people usually do not actually talk about. We know that we have mainly two genders in the society, males and females, and recently others were introduced. But are the others actually specified? Do we actually consider them to be an equal part of our society? So, my poem talks about their voice. Philosophies undefined. I was told I'm cursed. I was told I'm blessed. Please, dear society, can I have some rest? He or she, sex is my need, a blessing indeed. I'm a Homo sapien. Can you see? Oh, the laws of nature. I see, I see. But humans made them. Do you not agree? Homophobic, bisexual, and hydras are we. Eunuchs, intersex, lesbians, and gays are what you see. But if we call ourselves humane animals, would you then agree? Oh, the mythologies and the Vedas, I see. How about Kama Sutra and Rig Veda, dearie? Chapter 9, 36th verse to be precise, it talks about male sex. Now do you realize? A text written years before your birth talks about something you think there is no dearth. Dear society, wake up, will you? Locked in these walls, I'm tired of blaming you. When Lord Rama said, men and women wipe your tears and leave, We waited there at the edge of the forest for a new command to be weaved. In front of Lord Shiva, you plead. Remember, we are Ardhanareshwara. Do you see? Thank you.
Okay, so in the end, I thought there is more which is going to come, but then you finished right there, and I was like, okay, khatam ho gaya. So it was that good, Jasreen, and I expected your poem would be something very sweet and chirpy, but you chose something very intense. So perfectly done there, Jasreen. We are going to save your comments from judges. Meanwhile, we are going to Aisha, and we are going to find out how Aisha is going to respond to your intense poem. So, Aisha, are you ready?
Yes.
All
So
right. So,
for my
Aisha,
second
over to
poem,
you.
I've chosen the poem called Women and History. So it talks about women in history, hence pointing out our position in the present and questioning the future position. So I hope all of you like it. Women and history. I have learnt about Gandhi. I have seen people celebrate him. But I just know something, yet nothing about fierce stories of Jhansi Ki Rani. I have learned what Newton discovered. I have seen people praise him. But I just know something, yet nothing about the sacrifices of Mary Curie. I have learned about Aryabhatta's contribution. I have seen people talking about his maths. But I just know something, yet nothing about the mental abilities of Shakuntala Devi. I have learnt about Jawaharlal Nehru. I have seen people talking about him as PM of India. But I just know something, yet nothing about zealous stories of Indira Gandhi. I have learnt about Sachin. I have seen people celebrate him as god of cricket. But I just know something, yet nothing about cricket playing skill of Mithali Raj. Even our plays and heroic acts are partial. History holds our name, yet doesn't. Then what does the future hold for us? Thank you.
Perfectly done, Aisha. Although it was a wonderfully written poem, although I personally I don't agree to it, because I feel all the women's that you have named are a very strong women and are spoken a lot about. But then that is my perception, that is what I personally wanted to comment. But it's perfectly written, it's perfectly there on face again. So first up, I'm going to go to Nishant, because both the poems are there on face, and we spoke about this last time yesterday. So Nishant, again, two poems, which is there. It is intense. It is about society. It's right there on face. What are your comments on both of them?
Okay, so as these are my favorite areas to write also, like, so I really love them. So I love the fact that such poems are coming, and especially from girls, because that strengthens your voice. uh, Now the point is, in the for the Jasleen, I'll first comment on the Jasleen's poem. So it was really beautiful. It was pretty good. One thing that I thought, you were trying too hard to rhyme the things. Okay, so what happens when we write poems and we want to rhyme them? It reduces the choice of words that we have. So sometimes we tend to use certain words just to rhyme, and that comes very naturally. I do it daily. But what happens, so वजन चला जाता है कविता से. The weightage of the poetry, because you're writing five good lines, but then for that moment deary word came. It then just sounded like as if a sixth standard girl is talking about that. The word deary is not bad, but it could have been in a different poem. Otherwise it was quite well researched, well worked poem. But if you are writing free verse, the beautiful thing about free verse is you are free to write any word that you want. सो अगली बार कोशिश करो ऐसी कविता राइमिंग की चिंता ना करो. because the message would go across far better if the words are really, the same weightage is all over the poem. So that is for Jasreen, sorry. Now for Aisha. Aisha, I think the poem was good. I won't comment on whether it's true or not. I understand from where you were coming. You were saying that although इनकी stories पता हैं, but वो effort लगाने से मिलती हैं. They are not in so much into the mainstream things. People don't get it, and which is a very sad truth that we face. So the poem was good, but what happened that you, maybe the examples that you put there could have been a better way to put those examples and still make it poetic, not a history lesson. So we are not writing bulletin points in poem. So that's the difference. So next time what you can try, I just have an advice for you. uh, Try to go with this pyramid formula, as in one line for an example, but then in one line there are two names, then if required then three names in one line, so that it looks compact and expanding. Poem is a living thing, it's your baby. Like all of us, all our poems are our babies. So उसको एकदम ऐसे अच्छे से cultivate करना होता है, so that it's healthy and living in that way. But I loved both of the poems.
I think it is one of the perfect and on point comments that we have got from Nishant. Let's go to Meenal and let's find out what she have to say for both of you.
I would like to say that both of them touched a really very sensitive topics from our lives. One touched the transgenders and the lesser preferred areas of the society, and the second, uh, giving preference to boys more than girls. Coming from since I am also a girl, so I would really relate to this, whatever Aisha said. So yeah, it could have been a little more poetic, but the examples were, I think it was apt, and but it could have been little more poetic. For Justine, I would like to say that your poem was about a sensitive topic, but it did not look anytime it did not look like it was harsh. You did not lose its decency. The choice of words could have been better, so you can try that next
So
time.
some very good suggestions from Meenal that we have got for both of you. And Bhavesh, now to you. Let's find out what you have to say about both of them.
Jeffrey, I don't know what should have to say on your poetry. The transition actually, to be open with everyone. Yeah, there are my like I have four friends who is like transgender, homosexual, lesbian. I have four friends. So you had narrate their point of view, um, from the childhood, what they are faced in the real life, and that's I really appreciate that one thing. You know what, while while you are reciting the poetry, I was offline because I literally cried on that poetry. I mean, I have seen them, that they are facing such hard struggle. I mean, society is not accepting that one thing. And on that basis, my upcoming book is the title on the society, the Make the Truth. So I'm writing my next book on the society, the Neck the Truth. So that is my upcoming book, which will be might be published in next year. That is, I will mention, I especially mentioned on them to transgender, homosexual. Being a homosexual is not a crime, or it's not a, like that you don't understand. People have to accept them. People have to understand they also have the feeling of what does mean that they have the feeling for the same gender. It doesn't mean that was I felt it, and I literally cried on your poetry. The point you have covered is really wonderful. I mean, hats off to you that you have perfectly done. And Aisha, you covered the part of women's, which is really appreciable to you. I mean, both are really good. I mean, I totally agree with you on whatever you have covered on the women's topic. People, I mean, in the society, if I talk about society, is really, I don't want to use this offensive word, but you might be understand on that one thing. So I'll keep the mute on that one thing. So you have completely naked the acceptance. Why we are giving so many special affection to the man? why we are not accepting the women's has the same power, same ability, same skills, everything is has a, just like a man. If a woman can be that one thing that a man woman can be do this one thing, man and woman are equal. They are the perfect combination of like Ardhanarishwar. Especially I'm the totally I'm a huge fan of Lord Mahadeva, and I also especially believe in Lord Mahadeva and her better half, Mata Parvati. So I have seen them serial, and I'm not like that devotional. So they, you both are really perfect, amazing, beautiful. What should I have to say? I just want to both of you for that something.
So there
You
is some
deserve it.
heartfelt tarife for both of you, Suno Aisha and Sweetest Jasreen. So both of you have got some heartfelt compliments from Bhavesh. You have some very, very good suggestions from Meenal and Nishant. So work on that. Jasreen, we'll see you. No, Jasreen, please stay on the screen, and Aisha, we'll see you in a bit. Thank you so much, Aisha. Both your poems were perfect. Now, may I call Shilin again on the screen, please? So, Justine, did you know that you had to go against Shilin on this round?
Yeah, I was aware of that.
So, did you wrote your poem accordingly, or you just gave your best?
I'm gonna say the same, that I'm going to give my best, and the rest is in the hands of the jury.
And we have seen your best on your first battle, and you have done excellently well on the first one. Now we again are on a verge where again two very strong participants are head to head. So we are going to go with Shilin first, and we are going to find out what she have prepared against you, and then we are going to go for you, Justine. So Shilin, over to you.
Okay. So now I have a poem with the title Goodbyes, a New Beginning. And I've written this poem about when you lose a person from your life, but that is not always negative for you. Of course, that hurts, but God has different plans for everyone, and everything happens for a reason. So, this is about it. Goodbyes, a new beginning. I'm glad about the goodbye to you that I bid. I'm so glad that I finally did. Not just for your life to go on, but for me too, to let me move on. Everything happens for a reason, I believe. God sends everyone in our lives for a reason, I believe. I'm an optimist and I will continue to grow. And now that God has sent his angel to me, my life will surely glow. Life is not when you have everything. Life is when you have challenges in everything. I choose to accept this challenge now. I choose to live my life alive now. And so I made this choice now, as God gives me a chance now. Though there are stuff around which always keep me bound. But my dear, you are not my rebound. You are the one I had been waiting for. You are the best thing that has ever happened to me. I've heard these sayings earlier. I can feel it now. And not just I feel it, I believe it now. You drive me crazy. You make me love myself. You are the greatest blessing from the Lord above. In the world of physical love, you have loved my soul. And I can't afford to say goodbye to you, dear partner of my soul. Thank you.
Very, very serious poem there. I literally went into silence. And this is something very serious. Charles, listen. So that was really well done, Shilin. Let's
Thank
go to
you.
Justine and quickly find out what she have written, and then there is a lot of comments that's going to come to your way. Justine, over to you.
Alright. So, after touching this sensitive topic, let's dive into the so called reality, or, you know, let's dive into love. And The poetry that I'm going to present now, it is a series of thoughts of a person, and make sure there's going to be a twist in between. I hope you like it. Eternal love. Yes, I do. Wishing to hear this someday from you in the church where so many years have been left unheard. From your eyes, from where you send me those hidden smiles, and from where our sweet kisses and those dreamy wishes eagerly wait to be fulfilled. Making you smile is for what I'm skilled. My eyes have been waiting for the day when I'll find you by my side as my beautiful and lovely bride. I wish to see those burning balls of light and kiss you under the moonlight. I dream of those days when we would be happy playing with our children in complete delight. And then a thought comes into my mind. It stays for a while when I recall and realized that sorrowful day when in a car accident you died. For once again, thinking of you left me with tears rolling down my eyes. It has been 47 years now, and this is one memory I've lived for. I know you won't come back, but this memory has helped me survive my darkest times when I actually wanted to die. But after your thought, I ended up turning it into a mere lie. I still have that rose. Remember the one you gave to me when I first proposed you and you accepted me for being me? But alas, it has dried now. It has lost your scent, lost its color, lost that happiness it had when you were with me. That rose is me. I tried others, but you were unique. You were somebody I looked up to, somebody I wanted to give my hand to. But after you, this rose has lost its value. Thank you.
What a twist there, Justine. Amazing twist. I mean, in midway, I was like, इस लड़की से तो मैं अपने लिए लव मतलब अपने आगे पास ऑन करने के लिए लव लेटर्स लिखवाऊंगा. She's so good. And cut to you gave a twist, and I'm like, okay, wrong choice. I'm not going to her. But perfectly written there, yaar. I mean, amazing, amazing poem, Justine. And again,
Thanks.
Shailen, you did it so well. It was like a complete message again. It was like reading a dear diary in a poetic form. So it was that good. What about you, just Nishant? How did you like it?
Okay, so one thing, and this is for both of you, sort of an advice, sort of something that I have learned. So, when we write poetry on the emotions or based on the experiences that are quite dear to us, sometimes we tend to go overboard, or we just want to say what we want to say to either that person or the imaginary person or whatever we are feeling, the series of actions that have brought us here. But as a sincere artist that you are, and you are putting your efforts, we need to understand that while creating art in that moment, or to make that poetry, make that poem, you need to edit well. And in that, maybe you will have to take harsh decision, that maybe you wanted to have this thing, but there could be other way to have that, or there could be, you have to delete it or edit it. So editing is very important, and I think both of your poems were loosely edited. uh, that is one thing. But other than that, I think, Shilling, you write quite from your heart, and that vibes almost instantly. So that is pretty much good. There is some sort of innocence in your poems, which is something to cherish, and I'm jealous of that. uh, Innocent poetry is the best poetry. Okay, and coming to Jasreen, again the same thing. It's not too different, but so you were trying to tell a story, right? So as you will read more, as you will think more, you will understand that it's not about the broken sentences that make a poem different from a story. A story could have also been what you just recited. Poetry has a rhythm, poetry has delicacy, बहुत soft touches होते हैं poetry के. Even if you are writing harsh words, these are soft brush strokes of words. So उसे उस तरह से shape up करना पड़ता है so that it sounds poetic, right? तो उसी स्टोरी को, एंड व्हाट यू कैन डू, आई जस्ट गिव यू एन एडवाइस. इफ यू लाइक राइटिंग सम such thing, my senior told me this, I also used to do the same thing. You, if you want to make a story into a poem, so you can break your plot into the paragraphs, okay? And then just think कि हर पैराग्राफ के लिए तुम्हें कुछ लाइंस लिखनी है, हाउ टू क्रंच ऑल ऑफ दैट पैराग्राफ इनटू सम लाइंस. तो वो कविता नींबू में रस निकालने जैसा है, मतलब उसमें रस कितना भी हो, हमें कुछ ही बूंदे मिलानी है स्वादानुसार. सो थिंक ऑफ इट दैट वे.
So we have got some Swad Anusar suggestions from Nishant to both of you, but you have to take it completely not Swad Anusar, because every detail, every point that Nishant said is going to help you out in future whenever you're going to write again. And some perfect points that he mentioned. Let's go to Bhavesh and let's find out what he's going to say, because last time he was really touched by Jasreen's poem. He was really touched by Shilin's poem. Now let's find out what Bhavesh is going to say about you both. All right. I think Bhavesh.
Sorry, I was
All right, Bhavesh is here. Right.
yeah. Uh, Sorry, actually, I was completely. You know what? Just read. What again? Again, you just killed me. I mean, why you? I, you wrote a poetry which is based on my story. Actually, it's reality, not the truth. I had lost my first girlfriend in 2009, so that part which I was crying. Okay, so that's why I put my camera off. I'm so emotional person. I have many emotions in my blocked, my heart blocked, and yeah, मैं कुछ नहीं कह पाऊंगा. बस you just completely killed me. My emotions were attached with your poetry. And Shalin, क्यों इतना हार्ड कर देते हो हमारे लिए? Why you are making such a harsh for us to decide that what which score, how many scores we have to give you? I mean, yeah, why? I, you know what? I'm not able to judge you perfectly because
So
I'm
I
completely
think Bhavesh,
out.
you're going to give 10 on 10 to all the participants today, because all of them are hitting your nerve one by one. So I
Yeah,
think one judge is sorted for all the participants. At least we have sorted one judge. We all are getting 10 from one.
I guess someone had. Sorry, I'm just putting off my camera one more time because I want to cry. So sorry for that.
We are going to give you your space, Bhavesh. Thank you so much. And well done, girls. I mean, sorry, Bhavesh, but well done, girls. You have touched somebody's nerve. Sorry, I'm very blunt, so I am going to be blunt. So Bhavesh, we are going to give you your me time a little. Let's go to Meenal and let's find out what Meenal have to say.
So Shilling and Justine, you both have wonderful voice, and your narration just makes it more your poem more special. So I would start with Shilling. I feel that you have a very good habit of making the negative things into a positive thing. So the last poem, the pandemic and its positive effects, and this time you have done another poem which was really great. So keep it up. I liked it. Now coming to Jasreen, I felt that the editing part could have been better, just like Nishant said, since the poem was little longer. So you can always choose which part to be edited. Of course, it was heart touching, but few things can be removed from that. So other than that, it was good.
All right. So Meenal have already said it, and Meenal is playing very sweet today, huh? Because Nishant is playing the stricter person. So Meenal is playing very safe today. So Meenal is like very nicely done. So I am also trying to catch some nerves here. So perfectly done, Shilin. Perfectly done, Justine. Both of you were amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. So judges, this was team Titans, and like Titans, they all three of them are very strong, and the way they have performed, it's like all of them were. I mean, it came naturally to them. They are like a poet, right? What do you think, Bhavesh? And now you're back. We would really like to know how all three of them performed, how Titans performed in all.
First of all, I must be too hard for them also, as well as no emotion and the other things. But I'm the judge at this time, so I melted down in emotions, but I have to keep my emotion besides, and I have to be the heart for them, because they performed very well, they narrated very well. No matter, they covered my emotional part, so I'll be little hard for them, because you know what, emotions are not emotions every if I covered about talk about emotions. Emotions make every people foolish, and I don't want to be the foolish for this time. So I'll be hard for them. I'm not going to give 10 out of 10, because I'm, I have to respect the level of these competitions. So mm, that's I all want to say.
Perfectly said, Bhavesh. I mean, I literally said jokingly, so participants don't take it seriously that you are getting 10 from Bhavesh. I said it jokingly, okay? So I'm correcting myself here. So Bhavesh, Meenal, and Nishant are giving some really tough time to all our participants. They are trying their best to give their best. Now let's go and talk to our next team their mentor. So may I request Yashti and Tanya to be on the screen, please? Hello, Yashti. Hello, Tanya. How are you, both of you?
Hello, we are fine. How about you?
I'm good. I am having an amazing time in this competition because we had just finished with Team Titans, and all three of them have excelled in the performance. Now we are going for Team Slayers. Like last time, you both were confident that they are going to slay, and they did it. So they each one of them slayed the competition last time. This time also, are we going to see some slaying performances? What about it, Yashti?
We definitely are going to see because the performers are amazing. You have seen it, you have witnessed this the thing last time. So definitely they are gonna slay. They are slayers. They are meant to slay.
Definitely, and they have showed it last time. Tanya, what do you think? All three of them were real poets, or they have literally struggled hard to write a poem?
See, not all three of them are real poets. One of our participants really struggled hard for it, and they have literally gave their 100%. I'll say more than 100% to this show, and even for this competition, they were very nervous. So yes, they have worked hard for it, and I guess they will literally slay it.
So all ready. Your participants are here. Mentors are ready. They are confident. So we are not going to waste any more time. We are going to talk to mentors again later in the show. Let's go for the first battle. May I request judges on the screen, please? All right. So the first participant we are going to go with is Cosser and no, we have Cosser and Server. So Server is someone who got full points in the last round. He did it amazingly well. He was writing a story. He was personifying. This time he's going to write a poem. Last time the story was poetic. Now let's see how poem is going to be. Cosser is very amazing writer. We have seen how well she writes. Now we are going to see how well she writes the poem. So may I request Cosser and Server also on the screen? All right, again the two most slaying tribe is here. Last time we were hoping that Titan have done best and Slayers are going to have a tough time, but when Slayers came, they literally took the ground. They were amazing, one after the another. And Kosser, you were my favorite. Server,
Thank you.
you took all the comment. You were on fire on the comment box. This time also,
उसके ऊपर
This time also, are we going to see something like that from you, server?
Yes, yes, sure. I'm going to try my best. Let's see.
I really like server. He's like, Array, I'm going to do this, and he literally do it also. So he's like, he's confident, but he's not overconfident, and then he presents also. So I
I am
really
that
love this
one
guy.
topper who says आज मैं
So
पढ़
we are
के नहीं
going to
आया हूँ.
go perfectly said, server. So we are going to start with you, and then we are going to move to Aisha. All right, to Kausar. Sorry. All right, server. Over to you.
So the title of my please stop interrupt me if my internet isn't working properly. So the title of my poem is Past, Vantablack to Even the Brightest Quasar. I want to just clear out three things. First is Vantablack. It is one of the darkest substances and it absorbs all the light coming its way. Quasar, on the other hand, is the source of light is very bright. And one very important person that I'm going to mention here is Quang Du. He was a Buddhist monk in Vietnam. He lit himself in fire in a protest against, as he was a religious monk, it was a religious problems over there. So he lit himself in the protest, and in response, the government was shattered. And yes, it was the victory of the right. So I just want you to see the entire scenario when I mention his name. So let me start. Past, Vantablack to even the brightest facade. Inheritance to the world of Adam till our last, confined like Sirius to the Azkaban called past. Deprived, expressionless, like Kwangduk we burn, not the fall of evil, but the shatter of hopes is faced in turn, drowning into the blackened waters of North Atlantic. Few for the love of Rose, and the other for the betrayal of Brutus, so dramatic. With the anchors of memories, deeper we plunge, saturated with self hate like an immersed sponge. Struggling, falls to vain like a cripple in dead sand. When the only savior is a long lost hand. When memories come down like the first drop of rain, swiftly, silently, like the wrath of gods causing pain. So, what is the most unforgiving permanent scar past Vantablack to even the brightest quasar? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Like I said, he's a guy who says, let's see, it's going to be good, and then he performs. And I think he's wonderful. I mean, that's a piece that I would like to read when I sit to read. I think that's great, server. And you are going to get a hard time when when Kauser starts, because Kauser is again a
Yeah,
kind of poet, a person who writes this kind of piece. So let's find out what Kauser is going to write. So Kauser, are you ready?
Absolutely.
Kausa, do you think server did wrote a poem which is very much similar to your kind of writing?
I think that's the beauty of a poet. He or she must be able to do any kind of thing that comes its way. So that's the beauty of the challenge here, I think.
So already you are in the mode of challenge. Let's find out what you're going to give to server. So let's start. Kausa, over to you.
Okay, first of all, warm greetings to our judges, the host, my beautiful mentors, and all the audience supporting and encouraging us. My poem is written in response to Sarwar's poem, which is about the past. I'm the kind of poet who writes what I feel. So it cannot be that I've been through everything, right? So when I've given a scenario, I put myself in it and I see myself in that scenario, and that is how I write. So here, when I wanted to write about my past, when I saw myself gloomy, the only thing which came to my mind was future.
We do not belong to the past. The future is where we all belong to. So that is how my poem goes from low to high. Uh, the way my poem has written, it is usually based on some Disney kind of thing, a little bit. And there is one word mentioned, which is the Sirius, which is the which is the brightest star. Okay, so my poem is a little contradictory to what Sarvar's poem is. So let's start. Okay, so my poem is titled The Tale of the Past. When the effulgent sun abuts the sky, opens she her tear stained eye. The zephyr hits her half open dried lips, and she recollects her past in drips. Hostage like Rapunzel in the lost memories, abandoned like Hansel Gretel in the darkest queries, following the pied piper for finding lives, only to be drowned in Himalayan river where none survives. Your cries may be futile, your struggling may feel inutile. Past is surely an unforgiving feel, but can't you just fade it with a carbon peel? Let's raise above the storm in the welkin. Leave none of us to sullen, for eagles fly with eagles. You, my little Cinderella, will be rescued by little dwarfs, for a prince will come, oh, on a charming horse. Now, O sleeping beauty, you will wake up, for it will no more be a kiss of your past. For the future is a dark star to even the darkest black holes, and you will forget how blackest are the potholes. You will no longer be drowning in the darkened waters, but ascending like Sirius in the night sky of the northern hemispheres. For his blessings will fall like a rain and take away all your pain. Look up at the wide blue yonder and forget your past, for it's only the future that will ever last. Wake up, O tired soul, wake up from your past, for it is not the kiss of Dementor that will prison you like your past. Thank you so much.
Perfect, perfect there, Kausar. It's like you pulling yourself from past to reality. It was so
Right.
good, well written, well put on the server's part. So let's go to Meenal and let's find out, Meenal, how did you like the performance?
Kosa, you gave a very tough competition to Server because since Server scored 30 out of 30 last time, the expectations have were this much high. But I am
Right.
little bit disappointed with Server this time. Of course, he has shown his full creativity this time as well. But I think so when compared to Koser, it little bit lagged. So let's see what happens.
So like I said, this was Kausar's way of writing, and of course, it was meant to be excelled. And server, I too loved it. So let's find out if Bhavesh have the same comments or Bhavesh differ. So Bhavesh, what about you?
Server.
Yes.
So all those things which you had mentioned
So Bhavesh,
just
there are some network issues
fully
from your side.
changed the time. No.
Okay, so we are facing some
Okay.
network issue
Now
from
is it correct?
Bhavesh's side. All right, Bhavesh, if you
Hello.
can try to. Okay, Bhavesh is not on the screen. Let's go to Nishant and let's find out what he have to say about both of you. Over to you, Nishant.
Okay, so both were beautiful poems. सरवर की कविता तो ऐसी थी. I thought it would be really good in some sort of theater monologue. मतलब I would love to direct the poem. It could have been a great opening thing for a classic theater setting. Having said that, server, one thing. So when we try to use, like, I from your poem, I'm just thinking and I'm assuming that you are quite well read for your age. You are reading stuff, but so sometimes we feel a compulsion to put in a lot of names, a lot of references, because we like them. Like, I'm a crazy Harry Potter fan, so somewhere I just
Yeah.
want to put in some Harry Potter thing. But what happens if you put in too much of these names, too much of references which are not common knowledge, and in closer to each other, in 4 lines, 5 lines grouped together, then you make the poem heavy. It looks like as if you have worked more upon getting the references and getting the names into it. So if you yourself will read your poem, you will see in the first para and second para it looks bit of hard worked poetry, but then as you have gotten the groove and you must have written it, फिर एक flow बन जाता है. So if you see the last three paras of your poetry, it is so beautiful from the heart. It is more poetic, right? So try to get over that compulsion. All these things that I'm telling all of you, these are very abstract and intangible aspect of poetry. So it is not that is a thumb rule or
Mm.
something. I have journeyed that way, so I'm just sharing that experience with you.
Yeah.
So also one thing, both of you focus too much on rhyme. My issue with rhyme is that when you have such fantastic vocab, such fantastic references and stories, why are you not taking the opportunity to just let yourself free from the rhyming patterns and rhyming words, and focus more on the subtle aspects of poetry? Uh, Having said that, now coming to Kaushar. I think it was really beautiful. It was pretty well, but then again, कहीं कहीं rhyming के कारण you had to just insert line. Like, it could have been edited pretty well. मुझे So the point is, your future poetry is also for your future poem. You guys need to work and learn how to edit, and it also comes from reading a lot. Like, read more of prose, read more of poetry, and then you will understand that how does that work. So that's from my side.
Yeah.
Some very detailed observations there from Nishant to for both of you, Kausar and Sarvar. And I did not realize because I was in flow of what you were reciting, and I was in flow of it. But of course, judges are judges, and they are going to pinpoint every small details that me as a viewer is going to miss out. So they are judging you on the basis of that small details. So be aware and write better, taking all the suggestions from them. So Bhavesh is here. If Bhavesh, the network is perfect, we can have comments for both of them from you too. Let's rest. Hello.
Yes, Charles.
Yes,
Sorry.
it's perfect, Bhavesh. You're back.
Okay. Sorry, I was left in between. Sarvar, past has memories, and past it called past. We couldn't even change the past, but you recite it very quite good. So it's like last time you had added the creativity, it's a little bit lower than last time. A little got in disappointment for this time because I did not see that creativity in your this performance. And Kosser, last time you are also good, and this time I just get some kind of energy from your side. The uh, exit opposite side of server you have performed today. You are truly outstanding, and yeah, that was really
Thank
amazing.
you, sir.
The opposite side you have narrated perfectly. So I guess the internet is a bigger problem for me. So it's just
No
okay.
problem at all,
Thank you.
Bhavesh.
Over to
You
you,
are
Charles.
loud, clear. You're very loud and very clear to all of us. And thank you so much, Bhavesh. Thank you so much, Kauser and Server. Server, we are going to see you
Yeah.
again in a bit. Kauser, you're going to stay with us on the screen because you're going for your next battle against Jayashree. So may I request Jayashree on the screen, please?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Jayashree. Jayashree, you are battling against Kausar on this round, and Kausar is very much very good when it comes to poetry. What do you think? Will you ace it against Kausar, or you're going to struggle hard?
I'll try my level best.
You're going to try your level best. So how did you write the poem? Was it pre-written, or did you rewrote a poem after you got to know that you're going to face the other two colleagues of yours in a battle?
Both of them are really very like good in poetry. I felt after reading their poems, and I usually don't write poems, so I felt difficult in writing them. But I'll try my level best now. I put in a lot of
All right.
efforts. So
Perfect, perfect, Jayashree. So we are going to start with you so that you can be free first. So let's start with you, Jayashree, and then we'll go to Kausar. All right. So Jayashree, are you ready?
yes.
All right. All the best.
Okay, so my poem talks about the love an older woman has for a younger man and how society terms it as a sin. So I'll start now. Story of my sin. Tonight, I rewrite the story of my sin. I'm still buried in puddles of dark circles. My skin screams, for it is plastered with coat of grief, burnt with tears of ache and etched with scars so deep, stained and red. Years have passed. Promises have lost. I'm not anymore a sobbing mess. My tears have relinquished in distress. I'm done with crying. Trust me, I'm not afraid of dying. You told me then that love was blind to faults and flaws. Love knew only to give and forgive. You told me that love was kind and pure. It bothered not an inch of freckles, wrinkles, and furrowed brows. I believed it to be so because your presence filled the voids inside me. Nudge of your fingertips lurched my insides, dropping my heart into stomach. Everything in me wanted you so badly, you asked for it, and I gave all of me to you. The rhythm of my conflicted heart warned me of the happening sin. I knew I had to wake up from this bittersweet swing. But oh God, would a bee let go of nectar? Haze of panic blurred my vision. Tremendous agony choked my breath. I was on my knees. With a smirk, you left, thanking me for quenching your thirst. Begging and wailing went in vain when, shrugging with audacity, you spat out, telling I would never date a cougar. Floating in despair, gathering my shattered pieces, I sucked the venom that fumes out everywhere every time when a cougar loves a younger one. Because love for us is just a bitter taste of mistakes and regrets. Love for us is just a deplorable sin. Thank you.
Well done, Jayashree. It was so beautifully written, and I was like, why so sad? Why so sad? But it was such nicely written poem. So very, very good, Jayashree. Very well done. Now we are going to go to Kausar and going to find out what she has prepared to answer to your poem. So over to you, Kausar.
It was actually my poem and it was her response. So it went the other way actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, so it was that way. So actually, basically, it's a story of a girl who's in her mid 20s and she falls in love with a teenage guy. So initially, the guy is also attracted to the girl, but then later on, things go out of hand. As you know, life is not a bed of roses; it doesn't go your way. So then she faces all that, and that is how I described in my poem a little bit of the story and how she feels. Even if she's the most beautiful girl, that is the time when she'll feel that she has done something wrong, she has committed a sin. So when I read the poem, I when I write the poem, I read it, I visualize things, and that is how you enjoy a story. So I would all want you to visualize it with me and hear it in my words so that we enjoy this. So I have titled it as Young Sin. A sin she has perpetrated. Cougar, she is earmarked. Wherever she goes, people step on her toes. Cupid screams her frenzy heart. A facetious, flippant remark, the society, her friends, her love had passed. O God of heaven, she loves a youngin. Age, height, distance, they say matters not. Then why she had her heart in knots? You are boyish, she had warned. His salacity paid no heed as he did that sinful deed. A vilest sin as she gave in. She put her world under his feet. He glossed over with a tongue in cheek. I don't date an elder maid. Bestowed was she with niggling aches and pains. All her pleas were now in vain. The ignominy of falling for a younger guy just brought her obloquy. She was jilted, she implored and cried. She was now left with no pride. Her questions remain unanswered. Is it a sin to love a youngin? Did see woman vapid and daft? The cougar she is earmarked. Thank you.
How well you both have prepared. I mean, it was completely a fault that I'd let Jayashree go first. I should have asked you to go first because this is such a perfect combination, perfectly written. It's a perfect response to each other. So let's go to Bhavesh and let's find out how well you have performed. Bhavesh, over to you.
Kauser, I go first to you. Kauser, your poetry mesmerized remind the movie Hacked. I hope anyone watched the movie Hacked. It is just the same like your
Okay.
poetry, and it was based on your poetry, or it was you
It
have
was my
got some idea from
personal
that movie.
imagination. I am not
Okay, so I might be not at that time. So I'm movie logic, so I will not talk about that one thing. So yeah, love has a different feeling. Love can be happen with anyone. It doesn't say the age of the another person. Might be goes to the beyond the our age or it's below the age. Age is just a figure, and love has no limit. Love is just pure feelings which every human carried inside of us. So your performance, your narration is too good, and I personally feel it that yeah, what if I've fallen down with a small, younger or the elder one? It doesn't matter. I have the feeling for her, and might be she has the feeling for the same for me. So both we have the right to what we decide. It's on our hand. It's in our hand. Not other have to decide. Not other have to tell us that what we have to do. So your narration is outstanding. Your poetry is short and simple and quite interesting, and you covered that today's reality. I personally feel it. You covered the today's reality because love is like love is love. I don't want to explain this word. And Jayshree, you also covered the love. So your poetry is also outstanding. And somewhere I felt it that somewhere you know what, in the Titans performance I literally cried on that one thing. And today again you mesmerized me love. And you know what, when I mesmerize my first love, I just fall in my I just can't be control on my emotions when it comes on the love. Because my first love was literally good, and she has covered everything in my. She gave me this talent. She find a writer inside of me. I am not the proven writer. She gave me this kind of the imagination that you have the power to imagine yourself as a writer. So she finds writer in me, and of course, love can be a magical. Love can reset everything. So, Jayshree, you are also literally very good. That's really beautiful. Your poetry, your narration, everything is perfect. I loved it.
So Bhavesh have got some inspiration from his love, and you both have got some inspiration. I do not know from where, but you have got some perfect bang on inspiration, and both your poems were amazing. Let's go to Meenal and let's find out how she liked it. What about you, Meenal?
Okay, so I feel that both the poems were very well written. Even if Jayashree was a newbie in the poem writing, she did it pretty well. Just one thing which I would like to say, that Kauser overshadowed you because when you are reciting a poem, you should give time to for the audience to imbibe it, for the audience to absorb it. You were rushing very fast, so we could not catch every moment of your poem, which which is injustice from your to your part and to your poem. So I feel next time when you are reciting a poem or a prose, just be a little bit slow so that we can understand it very well. And Kausar, I really liked your poem, and you have the knowledge to where to give the pause and how to do the voice modulation, and you have the power in your voice that it is very engaging. So it is
Thank you
very
so
good.
much, ma'am.
Well noticed thing there for Kausar and for Jayashree, both of you. So amazingly done. And now we are going to a most serious judge for this round. We are going to Nishant, and he's going to grill you for sure. I'm warning you. So let's go to Nishant and let's find out what observations he have pinpoint this time.
So nothing like that. I'm not gonna grill you. Poetry is quite individual thing at the end. So that's all right. First advice to Kosher. Kosher, please understand one thing. If we explain the poem to the audience before performing it, हम उससे उसका पूरा मजा ले जाते हैं. Just like if a singer is performing or if a musician is performing, they won't explain to you the notes and how it came to being or something like that. It is something that the artist delivers and the audience takes from it whatever they can take. Once you have written the poem and you are delivering it, it's not yours at all. अब नहीं बचा है. Now it's for audience. जो भी उसे सुनेगा पढ़ेगा
जी,
उसे अपने हिसाब से लेने दो. That way your poem would be filled with the mystery a poem should have. A poem is a very, of all the art forms, poetry is something that is like, जैसे दूध में मलाई की परत होती है ना, तो वो जिंदगी में उतनी सी कविता होती है, तो उसे बड़े
जी,
सलीके से उतारना होता है. Having said that, now coming to your poem, I think it was good, but again, uh, मुझे ऐसा लगता है when we start writing, and I have gone through this phase pretty badly. We try to search for great words we think जो बहुत अच्छा लगता है, but in turn your poem became a tongue twister. So not about that were these hard words या मुझे तो आते हैं. It's not about that, but uh, a poem should come out जब हम लिखते हैं. It should come out as we speak, right? तो जब कौशर बोल रही है और जब कौशर कुछ शब्द बोल रही है पोइट्री में, they feel alienated to each other, right? So if you will try to work more on the emotional aspect of it rather than filling it up, and it's a compulsion. I have done all of these things that I'm telling you, because these are the only flaws I know, because I change them. So try to work with the subtle magic. Like for example, all of you who are listening, Gulzar Saab, you will never see Gulzar Saab using some word that is not from the general public consciousness, but he creates magic with it. So do that. I thought it became a bit heavy. And coming to you, Jayashree, the flow was good. I liked the rhythm. In the end, it got the pace. So everything was pretty good. But you have used a lot of words like and, that, all these conjectures जो जोड़ते हैं दो लाइन को. अगर हम पोइट्री में ऐसे वर्ड्स ज्यादा यूज करते हैं, so what happens, even you are thinking that you have written 5 lines of a poem, but because of these and, that and everything, that is one single statement going on and on and on, and that makes a poem tired. That makes a poem look कि यार ये तो खींची जा रही है थोड़ी सी. So again, there comes, reread your poems, rewrite your poems, खुद सुनो, and संगीत निकलना चाहिए. See, I am telling you. So the poetry is very close to music. They are sisters. So till you feel that your poem is like sweet to ears, it could be a dark poem, but it's sweet to listen to. Then you have got your poem. So work through that approach. I think you will feel better about your poems.
What comments from Nishant for both of you, and such spectacular performance by both of you. I think even he have to pinpoint a lot detailed things for you guys, because you guys were so good. I mean, well done. Thank you so much, Kausar. You
thank you.
excelled in your performance. Jayashree, you're going to be with us for the next battle against Server. Thank you so much, Kausar.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Jayashree against Server. One is amazingly romantic person, and other person have written something very romantic. So we are
Singer.
going to find out what kind of poetry they are going to come up with this time. So Jayashree, you are going first, and Server is going to follow up next. So Jayashree, over to you.
Okay, so this poem talks about a lost artist, where most of the times people prioritize on education and studies, and that is how they don't notice the inner artist in a person. So I talked about that. And I've titled my poem as The Lost Artist. So I'll start. Deep into the woods, with grief settled on her shoulders like a heavy metal jacket, pieces of shattered dreams clenched in her fist, she dragged herself with great difficulty, with those heavy iron chain of restrictions knotted to her feet. With a desolated heart and an empty breast of all her dreams compressed inside it, she stood at the edge of the cliff, tangled in net of terrible thoughts. Thinking was knowledge measured only in terms of digits? Does failing in exams and dropping grades in mathematics decide our worth? Is that the only means for survival in this world? Is success measured only in terms of that? I believe that the goddess of knowledge would have also failed in her exam someday. When I was made of art, when it runs in my veins, why is that I was choked to death by stopping me to do something which was my life? It was a moment of steely silence. The wind caressed her face, welcoming her to her home. She just let herself free. Her heart now felt as light as a feather. There was no one holding her now. The numbness in her had vanished. The colors from her brush started floating and flying everywhere. This was what she had longed for. This was where she belonged, where no one stopped her from doing what she loved. But the world lost another artist again. It concludes us with a message in the end. Each and every talent is God's given gift. Let's appreciate and not criticize. Let people do what they love. Though they are provided with beautiful wings to fly, let us not snatch their sky. Thank you.
Well done, Jayashree. You have taken all the rights from our judges, so they are going to give no comments after this for sure. What do you think, Jayashree? All right, let's save that review for you. Let's go to Server and let's find out what he have prepared. Server, over to you.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to really thank all the people who have joined me on YouTube. All these comments are really inspiring. Thank you, everyone. So, for the poem, the title of the poem is Kill Me Before I Die. The true meaning I leave up to your imagination. So, this is a story how a writer is born, what he goes through, and what phase he has left upon by the society. So, without disclosing anything else, I'll start. Kill me before I die. A pen with unlimited ink of dreams and goals. Over me, a cap of restrictions the society holds. Even the closest fail to understand my Wordsworth. Yes, the same who are a part of this writer's birth. Troubled, decayed, and lost, I had the world to Shakespeare'd through my empty hand, and the pen was awake, shaped words like a potter, befriending the likes of Brutus. Roots submerged into filth, I stood like that one pure lotus. I was an off course child, rolling down the Everest of hate, giving my voice to the voiceless. I made protest poetry my fate. Farmers' plight, students' cries, dry tears of a murdered soul. The 16-year-old's voice was nothing more than the noise of a beggar's bowl. I then took ways to the shadows darker than that of Antiblack. Loneliness became my partner. It were nights that had my back. I was called a Martin man, with hands dripping ink, not blood, playing with death, sacrificing souls, killing. It's just a blink. It is the holder which understands, and the audience that curses. They used Sadam Ashik's tag or all of my bled verses. He who tried shedding light on things ignored by the common eye, now with his head over Israel's blade, he cries, kill me before I die. Thank you, everyone.
Well done, Server. I think Server is a kind of a person who is hopelessly romantic. He writes so well, he performs so well, and then he's very casual about it that I didn't like, I never put efforts, but his efforts are so effortless. I mean, it's so well done, Server. And Jayashree, the way you have written, I can never say that you are not a poet and you're doing it for the first time. You have done it so well, Jayashree. So kudos to you. Let's go to Meenal and let's find out
I would
how
like to
she liked your
interrupt.
performance. Yes, yes, Server.
In this poem, I couldn't have written the entire poem without mentioning one of the few great authors and poets. I guess you would have caught that: Wordsworth, Shakespeare, Martin, George R. R. Martin. So that's all.
I think
Those
that
are,
was
yeah.
not even meant to be mentioned because that was anyways caught by all three of them. So I can sense on their faces. So it was right there. What about you, Meenal? Did you notice that names?
Yeah, and I would like to say the server I was talking about is back. Server, you are a true performer, and I was just looking at your fan following on YouTube. They are all like server OP. So, unlike me, there are many more people who were just waiting for you to come, and you truly nailed
A
it.
comeback.
And thumbs up.
Definitely a comeback.
Yeah, it's a good comeback. It's a good comeback. And Jayashree, I would like to say that you very well noted my last comment and you gave all those pauses. And I like this poem much better. It was good. It was much
Even I
better.
noticed how Jayashree quickly grabbed your yeah, your suggestions and she implemented it so well.
Yeah.
It was right after she was done with her first battle, and on second battle she took your suggestions and she did it. So kudos to you, Jayashree. Fantastic, fantastic work there. What about you, Bhavish? How did you like it?
Server. Well, very
Yes.
well, very good comeback. I mean, you give it the really last time you did it today. You are just absolutely outstanding, Server. You have a strong fire comeback. You just nailed it. You nailed it. Your performance and the narration performed. You everything is killed it. I mean, I clapped in your performance. So might be you have noticed or not. And Jayshree, I come on Jayshree. Jayshree, you to implement the words that Nishant told you and Vinay as well. So you had take that word seriously and you literally you fired it on today. I mean you had in your second and outstanding. You fired it today. I mean how you implement in a short time of period within a fluke you fired it at and you implement in your words and everything. I really loved it. That's off to both of you. Well it well done.
Some amazing comments there. But the way Jayashree started in the first battle and the way she performed on the second one and the way you performed, Server, I'm damn sure that there are a few errors that is going to be caught by Nishant because I could sense it. So Nishant would definitely bring up. So let's go to Nishant and let's find out because I can sense it. So Nishant can definitely sense it. So Nishant, over to you.
So first I'll talk about Jayashree and then we'll come to server. So Jayashree, one thing is I see a growing poet in you. There is definitely a spark. You need to read more. So the more you will read, the more naturally your lines would be in the structure. It would take their place. But your narration was really good. And जल्दी से तुमने एक ही राउंड में you also listened to what the other judges had to say and improvised for that. So I really loved that. I loved the poem even. It was an interesting topic to write. So that's really well and good. So good luck for that. I'm pretty happy with all the performance today. Now coming to Server, the star of tonight, as perceived by the audience, as I can see, not by the judges. So one thing, you costed yourself a compliment. So I was gonna compliment you on your good play of Wordsworth, जो तुमने डाला था, but you told it yourself and thought we couldn't understand. तो वो तो एक compliment
No,
चला
that was
गया.
for the audience actually.
हाँ.
Judges are great enough to understand that themselves.
But as I said,
Yeah.
poetry is supposed to have the mysteries in it. Other than that, one thing is, I think you start from a point in a poem, end beautifully. You start beautifully and you write beautifully and you take it to the end. But I do not see a connection. ऐसे एक round 360-degree approach नहीं होता है. So in poetry, somehow when you are writing the poem, it should look like as if it has come a whole circle, so that the entity in itself is a complete living thing. है ना, ऐसा कुछ इनकम्प्लीट नहीं छूटना चाहिए. बट होता क्या है, एंड आई कैन टोटली अंडरस्टैंड दैट. सो व्हेन वी आर वेरी गुड एट इमेजरी, दैट यू आर रियली गुड एट, आई लाइक्ड हाउ you used all the poetic devices. But some see, what I am trying to say is, I think because you know so many things in your consciousness, so your poetry on the craft level is quite good. But then because it has too much of craft in it, it loses its essence of being what it could be, like what your potential is. So I would like to see you living up to your potential. Other than that, I really love the poem, no doubt about that. But you need to work on few areas. So that is that.
Sure.
So people's favorite server have got some serious observations, serious suggestions there. So server, I hope that you are going to take all of that into consideration and going to use it further whenever you're going to write poems again. And Jayashri, excellently done on the second round when you took the suggestions on spot and you performed. Well done, Jayashri. Well done, server. Thank you for joining us on the screen. Now we have all three judges with us, and we are going to talk to them about today's performance. So, Meenal, to you, I go first, and I would like to ask, how was Slayer's performance today?
I think both of them were equally good. Some of the contenders from the Slayers were pretty brilliant, and some of them from Titans were pretty brilliant. So I am really looking forward to who the winner is going to be today.
So I have got the scores and I can't wait to declare the results, but I'm going to stay a little longer because I want to know what Nishant have to say about this poetry competition. We have gone through the day one, we have gone through the day two. The competition is over. All of them have performed so well, but there were some serious suggestions from you, which was really apt, really helpful to all our participants. How did you like all four teams' performance rather?
I see. So I have been going to many online events and offline events. I take workshops. So I'm used to listening to a lot of poems. The good thing about all these four teams and all the artists, that they really put in their best efforts. That was evident. So no matter how much we, am I audible? Charlie is not audible to me. Charlie, were you saying something? I Okay, anyway, so maybe there's some connection problem. I was just saying that, so all participants put in their best efforts. The poems that come out were really good. I got to learn a lot. I got to understand how other people are thinking across the nation and beyond. So that was really beautiful. I just wish that all these people do not go wayward. That I see mostly that थोड़ा सा social media profile थोड़ा सा famous होने की वजह से we usually loses our focus upon what art is supposed to be. So I hope all of them stays this sincere that they have been, and I would love to listen to them in the future contest, whomsoever comes. I think Charles has gotten bored of me and he has just muted himself. He's coming. Hmm? Till then, could I ask Bhavesh to give his comments, because I think there's some sort of. Hmm? Charles, I think you have to unmute yourself first from there. Okay. Okay, so till then, Charles sort this out, Meenal. So I was thinking, would you like to listen to another poem of mine or something like that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Sure, sure. I would love to.
also, I think जितना comments मैंने दिया है, now audience are going to comment on my poem that listen, your structure is also not so right. So
No.
okay, so yesterday I recited an Hindustani poem, so I thought आज English में कुछ पढ़ देता हूँ. Guys, already sorry for my accent pronunciation. I come from a Hindi medium school and that too from Chambal area, so you won't find the British etiquettes here. Anyway, the poem goes like this. I can't cry. I can't cry. I have not allowed this luxury to myself. As I grow into a precipice shrouded with the tears of my loved ones, more I lose the capacity to let my tears flow. The unaged tears leak into my veins, leaving a trail of goosebumps down my spine till my head is heavy with all the words. Words that have been spoken, words that have been heard, words that could have been saved, words that are pounded into my heart so frequently that my heart is nothing but a broken coffin. Even if I try to fix it, it shouts death and despair. I can't scream out loud. I appreciate the silence of the void my life has carved out for itself. I have been too drunk to remember the date, but I am married to anxiety. Anxiety doesn't contain itself to me. It lends into my books, my table, my room. It bleeds my poems on a daily basis like a careless assassin. My palms and feet sweat all day long to make footmarks of past on the floor as I pace in my room, fantasizing all the ways I could end my life. I can't dream. I'm the embodiment of the poems by Pash. I wake up to find myself stuck in parallel relay races on a minefield where each person in my life is a life mine ready to blast. I have witnessed so much of violence that I'm numb to every violent act now, and that knowledge kills me the most. I keep staring at the pile of my books, trying to find any reference that would keep me alive for one more night. I can't cry, I can't scream, I can't dream, I can't survive anymore. So that was my poem. I hope Charles is back with us again so that I could
I'm
hear
back
it.
and I was back on time when you started, so I missed not even a single word. I was right there. I heard everything, and I also heard that you were saying that you are not good at it, but you are definitely good at it. You are perfect at it.
Yeah.
So let's quickly ask to Meenal also what about what she thinks about your poem because she was
Now I'm
mesmerized.
scared.
I
Now I'm
saw how
scared.
she reacted right after the poem.
Even if somebody wants to take out any छोटे छोटे mistakes, they can't because you are so good at it. मतलब बोलने का तरीका, उसके बाद स्ट्रक्चर और जो एक्सेंट आता है ना वो बहुत रॉ लगता है तो उसके साथ और ज्यादा मजा आता है सुनने में.
Well done. I mean, both of you and even Bhavesh, all three of you are amazing and you are experts in what you do. But now it's time for me to take the entire screen again. Thank you, judges, for being with us and judging our all the participants on their poetry today. Thank you so much. All right, so I have the entire screen for myself. I have results with me, so I'm going to declare results one by one. First, I'm going to go for Titans score, and Titans have performed amazingly well. Their mentors, Garima and Shreya, would be so proud because all of them are on the mark. They have performed excellent. So let's go for the results. So this time, the first on the scoreboard has been taken by Jasreen Kaur by 51 points out of 60. 5151. And Shilin, you are second with 50 points out of 60. And Aisha, you have got 49 out of 60. All three of you are so close. You have performed so well. You all three were amazing. Kudos to all of you and your mentors, Garima and Shreya. Next up, I'm going to give results for Team Slayers. Yashti and Tanya were the mentors for the team Tribe Slayers. And for Slayers, first up, we have Server with 51.5 points. So Server is not only the audience popular, but he have also topped the scores in the Slayers mark. Kausar got 49.5. She have scored second, and Jayashri have scored 45.5 out of 60. So all three again Slayers have slayed this time. Titans were like Titans. They were rock solid. They were amazing. So kudos to all our six participants today. Kudos to all four mentors today. Like this, we are going to go on next week with a different set of participants, actually the same set of participants but in a different manner, different competition, different challenge to these participants. Be with us next week also. We'll keep you updating. So do follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube by the name of Kala Kebab or Kisse or Writers Unplugged. We have two pages. You have to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. You have the links here down there so you can see and follow us there for all the updates about what all we are doing. So catch you live again next week. Thank you so much, all the viewers, for joining us, judges, and everyone, all the participants. Thank you so much. I am Charles signing out for today's performance. Thank you so much. Bye bye.